Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to another disc battle. This time taking a look at two outstanding fairway drivers. The Discraft Stalker, which has seen a huge reemergence in the last couple of years, and the Undertaker, which has been a very popular driver ever since it was released. Now, when looking at the profile, they are very similar. Both have kind of the same slightly rounded dome on the top, the same kind of slightly slanted rim. However, major difference, Undertaker a little faster, so it's not as blunt as the Stalker. Major difference is when you flip it over, as you saw, Stalker had that bead to it, and the Undertaker is beadless. Now, since there's clearly a difference in terms of speed between the two discs, potential distance is not going to be a determining factor in choosing our winner. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and we're taking a look now at the flight when both are thrown on hyzers, and you can see that they both actually do like to flip up a little bit to flat. If you throw it slight hyzer, Stalker's a little bit easier to get it to flip up. In terms of the flight, I do think that the Stalker will get a little bit more turn initially out of the hand, making it great for hyzer flips. Undertaker, you can do the same as well, but I think you need a slightly bigger arm to do it. However, when looking at them thrown flat, this is where you really are going to be able to see just how similar they are. The Stalker starts off pretty straight, you get a little bit of turn in kind of the later half of the flight, and then it has a nice hyzer finish. The Undertaker is very much the same way. Very straight to start, but then again, it's going to have a little bit of turn and then have a predictable finish, though I must say it has a little bit harsher finish than the Stalker. And also when looking at the way the two discs fly, it's clear that the Undertaker has just a little bit more glide to it. It likes to kind of stay up in the air more. The Stalker, even though it can get good distance and has some sneaky glide for being a slower speed disc, it just doesn't have the same amount of glide that the Undertaker. The Undertaker just really likes to stay in the air longer. But I will say that in terms of the flight, where the Stalker has the advantage is at the end of the flight. We've seen so far the Undertaker has this much harsher dump at the end, whereas the Stalker does have that dump as well, very nice and predictable, but the Stalker likes to have that more forward penetrating finish. Now, we've seen both these discs be very good for both hyzers, very straight shots. They're also good for these anhyzers and flex shots. Because of their ability to kind of hold a turn in the mid-flight, they really hold these nice, beautiful kind of slight turnover. Not really good for absolute full turnover shots, at least not in these plastics, but they're perfect for these nice flex shots because, again, as we've seen, they have that little bit of noticeable turn in the mid-flight, but then if you give them enough time and enough air, they will fight themselves out and will hyzer back. So transitioning over to the different plastic types. Wow, both of these discs come in a lot of plastics. For the Stalker, however, most of them have come in the recent last year or so, as it's gained a lot more popularity very recently because of Hailey King and Paige Pierce. On the more overstable side for the Stalker, the Tour Series for Hailey King, the Crystal, those are going to be much more overstable. I found the Titanium to be a lot straighter, whereas the Z that we were throwing was actually kind of more the most understable. While with the Undertaker, the more overstable is going to be the Missy Gannon new Tour Series Z, and then also the Ledgestone Crystal Flex. Not to be confused with the Z Flex, which out of the box, I think the Z Flex and probably the Pro D are going to be two of the more understable. So taking a look at the Z versions side by side, you can see they mirror each other really well. Very straight to start, mid-flight they get that turn, and at the very end they get that fade. So when it comes to harshest fade, this is definitely going to have to go with the Undertaker. The Stalker does have a nice predictable fade as well, but the Undertaker has a much harsher dump, whereas the Stalker is kind of more of a straighter, it likes to penetrate forward. And that's why also the Stalker is the straightest flyer of the two. Now for the glide, we're going to give this to the Undertaker, as it always seemed to kind of push forward and just stay in the air a little bit more than the Stalker. With the resurgence of the Stalker, the plastic types is going to be even, which means that for shot versatility, maybe it takes a little bit of effort and seasoning, but you can get both discs to hold a similar shot. So personally, this was a very difficult disc battle because I love both of these drivers, but in the end, I do have to give this to the Undertaker. Out of the box, I feel like the Undertaker just does more. It has a little bit more stability to it, but it also has more understability when it comes to different plastic types, as well as even just in the mid-flight, it has just a little more understability, which means you can work it on lines a little bit better. The Stalker is definitely straighter, but the Undertaker is just, again, I think just a little bit more workable with the different lines that you can hit out of the box with the different plastic types. Now, that's not to say that you can't get there with the Stalker. I just feel like the Stalker, you have to season the discs a little bit more versus the Undertaker, it's right out of the box. Alright, there you have it, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video as it helps with YouTube's algorithms and helps suggest this video to others that may find the information useful. Subscribe if you haven't already. So until next time, everyone, keep banging them chains.